What's up, Poke people? I hope you've been having a good time with Pokemon Go. I sure have. It's a good time. Be capturing some Gen 1 Pokemon. But you know, Gen 1 is not where we're at right now. We're at Gen 2. So we're gonna talk about Gen 2, even though Gen 1 is all the hype right now. Fucking Gen 2. Last week we ended with Delibird, or Delivered, you know, that bird that sounds like delivered. But today, we're starting out with Mantine, which is a Pokemon I've actually mentioned before in the previous episode, because Mantine is that one Stingray Pokemon that has a Remoraid stuck to it a lot of the time. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So Mantine is a manta ray Pokemon. I've always had a liking for manta rays because they have this like really cute face underneath their body, and when they're like stuck to a glass, they're like, ah! It looks really cute. I love it. You should check that out if next time you're in an aquarium. It's great. It's great times. So Mantine is a water flying type. Now that's kind of crazy because Mantine is a fish, right? Well, yes. But Mantine can gather so much fucking speed underwater that it can actually fly above the water when it has enough speed, which is really fucking awesome. So it's really fucking awesome. That's what it is. As I mentioned before, Remoraid is a Pokemon that's kind of based on a handgun. Mantine may actually be based on a warship because they kind of have this link together, and I think that's a really cool idea. Mantine has a pre-evolution that is not in this generation yet, called Mantike, and Mantike evolves when you level it and you have a Remoraid in the party, which I think is one of those mechanics that I think is really great, just like, you know, with Ninjask and stuff like that. It's like Cool mechanics! Yay! Evolution mechanics! So Mantine is a really elegant and docile Pokemon. It is just the type of Pokemon you'd expect it to be from the way it looks, I suppose, and I think Mantine is really awesome. I am not actually sure though if Mantine can learn fly. I guess not. That would be really weird. You're like flying over the Pokemon universe on a fish. What? Mantine gets 4 out of 5. Next up is number 227, Skarmory. Now Skarmory is a Pokemon I've never really liked, and now I've been reading up on it. I know why. That thing is fucking creepy, yo. Did you know that? That thing is creepy as heck. Skarmory is a steel-type Pokemon. It has these wings that are like blades, and they can cut you. They're like fucking knives. Like, what? And then there's this Pokédex entry that scares the shit out of me. Pokemon Silva. After nesting in bramble bushes, the wings of its chicks grow hard from scratches by thorns. What? Will you put your children in bramble bushes and then let the bushes scratch them? Why? Why would you do that? Your little bird chicks could have been so soft and sweet, and you turned them into fucking monsters. Why? So Skarmory is a flying Pokemon, and I know what you're thinking. Isn't steel like really fucking heavy? So how does it fly when it has like steel wings? I will tell you that. Its wings are hollow, which makes them very light. Science, bro. So Skarmory has a lot of features in common with the condor, specifically the Andean condor, which is the condor that lives in the Andes Mountains, I think. And it also shares some characteristics with crane birds, and I don't know, Skarmory terrifies me. It absolutely is terrifying. Or is that just me? Because that thing is just creepy as hell. I don't know. Skarmory's name comes from sky and armory because, you know, armory, swords, you know, it has them killing people. But its name can also come from scar, which is, you know, it grows stronger because of the scarring of the bramble bushes and hurting its children. 3 out of 5. Number 228 is Houndour, which is a dark and fire type. It is kind of based on the Hell Dog, and it looks like a Doberman to me. Houndour always kind of scared me. Why are all the Pokemon in this episode scary? There's only 2, Hilde. What are you saying? So Houndour is your typical dog Pokemon. It forms packs, it howls to like gather his friends. It's just your typical dog Pokemon. Only it spits fire, like Growlithe. It's not even that special anymore, is it? So it barks, and the barks and howls are a way to locate other Houndour from the pack. It's pretty standard stuff. If you know how dogs work, you know how Houndours work. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl says it conveys its feelings using different cries. It works in a pack to cleverly take down prey. Again, I cannot imagine Pokemon hunting for prey for some reason. They don't seem like that. But they're animals, but they're like... Stop. Stop. I can't imagine Pokemon murdering other Pokemon to eat them. Why not just eat like Pokeblocks or like the little cupcake things, Poke Puffs or whatever? Like just stop killing each other. So both Houndour and its evolution have a pretty rare typing, which is Dark and Fire. They're actually the only Pokemon in the universe who have that exact typing. I don't know why, because Dark and Fire seems like a really logical combination to me, but you know, maybe we'll get more. The German name for Houndour is Hunduster, which means Hund is dog. Duster, I think that's how you say it, Duster, is dark. So it's like a dark dog. 3 out of 5. Then Houndour. I don't actually know how to say it. I'm just saying things. Houndour then evolves into Houndoom, which is another hellhound with like horns and shit. And it is like the same, but with horns and shit. Houndoom really represents a hell dog. It has this like creepy ass devil's tail. It has a mega evolution where it grows like extra fucking outside spines on its body, and it's creepy as hell. Houndoom has horns, and if those horns point upwards, that means they are the leader of the pack and they are the strongest one in the pack. Dog talk. It's just dogs. So Houndoom has a lot of toxins on the inside, and that makes the fire that it spits out actually really toxic. And if you get burned by Houndoom's fire, it will never heal. Some Pokemon are just so fucking dark, aren't they? Forever a burn wound? No. No one wants that. No. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl says, long ago, people imagined its eerie howls to be the call of the Grim Reaper. What? There's a Grim Reaper in the Pokemon world? Houndoom's name obviously comes from Hound and Doom. How surprising is that? And even though Houndoom is not my favorite, I will give it a 4 out of 5 just because it is a badass bitch. You're welcome, Houndoom fans. Next up is number 230, Kingdra, which is the evolution of Seadra. Now, still, again, I'm confused about these evolutions appearing in the second gen or other gens, but you know, it's fine. Fuck logic. Kingdra is actually a pretty mysterious Pokemon. It lives in the deepest bottom of the sea where it sleeps and stores power. Seadra has this really strong yawn. When it yawns, it can actually cause whirlpools and tornadoes on the surface, which is absolutely terrifying. I didn't even know this about Kingdra. To me, it was just like the evolution of Seadra. But it's actually really crazy epic. Kingdra is the only dragon type that was introduced in Gen 2, which is really cool. I mean, dragon types are just the most epic of all, aren't they? Fucking dragon types. Pokemon Sapphire says, Kingdra sleeps on the seafloor where it's otherwise devoid of life. When a storm arrives, the Pokemon is said to awaken and wander about in search of prey. First of all, you can't wander underwater, I think. Isn't wandering just for walking? It's fucking swimming, bro. But yeah, terrifying? Terrifying. Deep sea creatures. Most terrifying creatures ever. Kingdra is based on the weedy sea dragon, but it obviously also resembles a lot of the seahorse like its pre-evolutions also do. A really fun fact, I think at least, about Seadra is that the fact that it's a dragon type may actually be a reference to the Japanese name, like a Japanese name for seahorse, not the official name, but something they call it, which is Tatsuno Otoshigo. I don't speak Japanese, so if that sounded really bad, I'm sorry. Which means dragon's child. I think that's really clever. But yeah, maybe it's not. So the German name for Kingdra is Seadra King, which is Seadra King. Seadra King? Why Seadra King? Come on, German, you can do better than that. I've seen you do better than that. 5 out of 5. Next up is Phanpy, the tiny little elephant Pokemon, which is basically just an elephant, but small. A small elephant. It's based on an elephant cub, is that what you call it? A young elephant baby boy? Phanpy is a ground type. It's found on rocky terrains where it digs its way into the ground with its trunk. In really early morning hours, Phanpy goes into the river to make itself clean with its snout. It's basically an elephant. It's just an elephant. Like, I've been looking for something that makes it less of an elephant, but it's literally just an elephant. Pokemon Silver says, as a sign of affection, it bumps with its snout. However, it is so strong it may send you flying. Oh god. There is literally nothing else to be found on Phanpy apart from the fact that it is based off an elephant. Calf. So that, yeah, it's just boring. All the names in other languages are literally Phanpy. 2 out of 5. Unoriginal, man. Fuck. Why didn't you just, like, design an ice cream cone? Phanpy then evolves into Donphan. Now, Donphan I remember from the anime where it could dig up... Oh, what was it called? Amberite, I think? Donphan is another elephant Pokemon, but this one is a little bit more savage. It has this armor which makes it capable of rolling and like smashing everything and rolling and doing a tackle. And this tackle is so strong that it can actually fuck up a house. Its armor is really thick, and it is pretty much impossible to like hit it with just a tackle or something like that. You need to get creative to get that Donphan. So Donphan is based on the adult elephant. It's still not very big though, by the way. But Donphan also kind of resembles a tire when it rolls up because it has this pattern on its armor, and when it rolls it goes so fast it actually looks like a tire, which I think is cool. And that is it. The name for Donphan is also the same in every other language, so I'm just gonna give this a 3 out of 5 because its design is a little bit more original than Phanpy's is. Not a big fan of these two, sorry. Next up is Porygon 2, which is the evolution of Porygon. Porygon 2 was actually designed to go into space and be a space duck. It looks like one of those drinking birds, you know, the ones that go bloop, 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 bloop. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They only use those in Japan, but you know what I mean? You got me? Yeah, that's what it looks like. But Porygon 2, since it was built to actually go to space, there's a little problem. It can't fly, and that limits its going to space adventures. And now it just lives in labs and computers with actual humans to help them out. It has artificial intelligence, which means it sometimes also shows behavior that wasn't actually programmed. It's a smart boy. It's a smart boy. So the change from Porygon to Porygon 2 is based on subdivision, which is what they use in video games to like make something that is polygonic round. So they like divide it into all these blah blah and make it round. That's why it's rounder than Porygon, regular Porygon. Porygon's name comes from polygon, and it may actually be a play on words because Japanese people have apparently, I'm not trying to be racist here, apparently have a hard time saying the L and make it an R, so Porygon. Ah, Japanese joke. Who's being racist here? I think it's Pokemon, not me. Porygon 2 is, I think, a little bit cooler than the actual Porygon, so I'm gonna go with 4 out of 5. And the last Pokeboy of today is Stantler. Now, I remember Stantler again from the anime where Brock finds this small Stantler and it has this capability of using its antlers to create an illusion of a herd, a stampede of more Stantler to defend itself from getting harmed by humans. Cool as fuck, first of all. Now Stantler has these balls inside its things, and they can be used to be crushed into a substance that actually enhances sleep. Now what happens when you take one of those out? Will it just be gone forever? Will it grow back? Or what is it? It's a mystery. It's a mystery. Pokemon Gold says the curved antlers suddenly change the flow of air to create a strange space where reality is distorted. I'm actually surprised that Stantler isn't a psychic Pokemon. It should have been, but it's not. It's just a normal type. Sad, really. So Stantler appears to be based on, I have to read this, Shishiodoshi, which is a type of thing that people in Japan put in their gardens to scare away deers and birds. Because it has this like crazy thing. It's called a deer scare. That's what it's based on. And obviously it's based on a deer. Stantler's name comes from stag and antler, It is crazy, I know, it's hard to imagine. And that's about it. Stantler for me is a 4 out of 5 because I like deer and I like the idea of its illusion creating antlers. And that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's little Pokemon facts and come check out my previous rating all Pokemon video somewhere here. I don't know where, somewhere here. And please throw me a sub if you're into hearing information that is obviously just taken off of Bulbapedia, set in me saying it instead of you reading it. Shout outs to Bulbapedia for giving me all their information and being generally a great website. I love you, Bulbapedia.